Hi, this is Anil from Learning Lab with a video tutorial on C programming. So in this tutorial, we're gonna see how to use the realloc function in C to reallocate the memory which has been already allocated using the malloc or the calloc function. So this realloc function is gonna increase or decrease the size of the allocated memory. So first we're gonna see the syntax of this realloc function, and then we're gonna see how we can use that in our program. So this realloc function as a parameter is gonna take the current storage pointer which is obtained by the previous call to the malloc or the calloc function, and then the new size that we want. So this new size will be in the bytes, and if it is 0 and the pointer is pointing to an existing block of memory, then the memory block pointed by this pointer will be deallocated, because we are mentioning the size as 0 and we are passing a valid pointer here. A size of 0 means no memory. That's why this realloc function is gonna deallocate that memory. So if this current storage pointer is null value and we have some size here, then it's gonna create a new block of memory, and it's gonna return the address of the first byte of that allocated memory. So okay, now we're gonna see how we can use this realloc function in our program. So just for the demonstration purpose, I'm gonna create some memory using the malloc function to store some strings, and then we're gonna use this realloc function and we're gonna increase the size of that block. So mind you that using this realloc function you can increase the size or decrease the size, or you can deallocate also by passing a value of 0 here. Okay, now we're gonna see how we can use this realloc function in our program. So first I'm gonna create a character pointer, so it's gonna be char star str, and then we're gonna allocate the memory using the malloc function. So it's gonna be str equal to malloc, and I'm gonna specify a size of 13. So when the size is 13, what we can do is we can store 12 characters, because last one byte will be used to store the a null character to specify the end of the character stream or the end of the string. Okay, now we're gonna check whether the malloc has successfully allocated memory for us or not. So I'm gonna use the if statement. If str is equal to null, which is gonna mean that the memory wasn't allocated for us. So I'm gonna say that using a put as function, and I'm writing the message as unable to allocate memory. Else, if the malloc function has successfully allocated memory for us, then we're gonna store some values in that allocated memory. So I'm gonna use the strcpy function, which stands for string copy. First we need to pass the destination, so it's gonna be str and then the string. So this time I can store 12 characters. That's why I'm gonna write learning space lad. So it's of 12 characters. Okay, now we're gonna just print it out. So I'm gonna use the put as function, and we need to pass this str here. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna resize that allocated memory using this malloc function. So let's say we wanna make it to a value of 19. So I'm gonna use the realloc function. So it's gonna be realloc, and as a parameter, first we need to pass the current storage pointer which is the str, and then the value or the new size that we want. So this time I'm going to specify, let's say 19. So this realloc function is gonna take this current storage pointer and it's gonna increase the size, because 19 is greater than 13, which is previously allocated size, and it's gonna return the address of the first byte of this newly allocated memory. So with the previously allocated memories, if more memories are available at the same block, then it's gonna return the same value, which is the address of the first byte. Else, if that sufficient memory is not available from that memory block, then it's gonna allocate a new block, and it's gonna return the address of the first byte. So we're gonna store that in our str pointer, and also we need to cast this one to char. So it's gonna be char star. Okay, now this str is gonna point to a memory of 19 bytes. So it means we can store a value of 18 characters. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna append some characters to this learning last string. So I'm gonna use strcat, which stands for string concatenation. So if you don't know about this, please watch my tutorial on string concatenation. So first we need to pass the pointer, which is in str, then the string that you want to concat. So I'm gonna add a space first, then I'm gonna write rocks, ROCKS. So previously it was around 12 characters here. Now here 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now we have stored the 18 characters, and in the 19th byte, a null character will be stored. Just to indicate that that's the end of the strings. So next we're gonna use a put as function to print out the value. So it's gonna be put as and str. So the last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna free this allocated memory. So I'm gonna use a free function, and as a parameter we're gonna pass str. Okay, now before running this program, let me see whether I can draw this. Okay, let's assume that this is the stack space provided by the operating system for the programs to store their local values, and this is a heap, and this program 1 and program 2 are the currently running programs. Okay, let's assume that ours is a program 1. So first, when we use this malloc function and allocate 13 bytes of memory, the memories will be allocated here, in the heap. So it's gonna allocate 13 bytes of memory. So it will be 13, and we are storing a value of learning lad. So the learning lad string will be stored here. Next, when we reset this memory using the realloc function and specified a new size, which is 19, the realloc function is going to check whether the sufficient memory required to increase the size, which is 19 byte, is available just after the current allocation. So if that memory is available, then it's going to allocate the memory from here, and the 19 bytes, which is the remaining bytes required is 6. It's going to allocate 6 bytes here, and it's going to return the address of this first byte. So let's say that this much memory is used by some other program. After this previous allocation, there is no bytes available. So at that time, what the realloc function is going to do is it's going to allocate an entirely new block of memory of 19 bytes, and it's going to copy all the contents present in this previous block, all the contents here, which is learning lad, and it's going to copy to this newly allocated memory. And also this newly allocated block is going to contain the size of 19, and also it's going to free this memory, so this memory can be used by some other programs running in the system. So next, it's going to return the address of the first byte of this newly allocated block. So that will be stored in our pointer str. So when we concat some values, which is rocks to the previous string, learning lad, so the learning lad rocks will be stored in this newly allocated block. Okay, now I'm gonna run this program. So execute, compile, and run. So you can see here the learning lad, which is from the first put as function, that's the value we have stored, and then we use the realloc function to resize that memory, and we just concatenated rocks to this previous string learning lad. That's why we are getting learning lad rocks, because of this second put as function, and then we just free this memory. So this is it, guys. This is about the realloc function in C just remember that this realloc function is used to resize the previously allocated memory using the malloc or calloc function dynamically. And also using this realloc function, you can increase the size or you can decrease the size, and also you can deallocate the memory by specifying the new size as 0. And also you can create a new block of memory by passing a value of null to this current storage pointer. So thank you guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my Facebook page at facebook.com/learninglad, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.